there is a quiet and persistent ache that haunts the modern world. It is a feeling that can arise in the most unexpected of moments. It may find you at the peak of your career, in a corner office with a beautiful view, after you have achieved everything you were told would make you happy. And yet a silent, hollow question echoes in the room. Is this all there is? It may find you in the quiet of the late evening, after the children are asleep and the day's endless tasks are done. A feeling of being a stranger to yourself. A sense that you are playing a role so perfectly that you have forgotten who you are beneath the costume. This feeling is not a sign that you are broken or ungrateful. It is one of the most sacred signals a human being can receive. It is the first faint, beautiful note of an unheard symphony, the deep, resonant music of your soul's purpose, trying to break through the noise of your everyday life. We have been taught to think of purpose as a destination, a job title, a grand, singular achievement we must find out there in the world. But the great wisdom traditions and the modern spiritual masters who interpret them for our time teach us a different truth. A soul's purpose is not something to be found, but something to be heard. It is not a role you must earn, but a frequency you must learn to tune into. It is the unique, resonant song that your soul, and only your soul, came to this earth to play. To live a life of purpose is to allow this inner music to flow through you, to inform your choices, your work, your relationships, and your very state of being. And the feeling of discontent, of quiet desperation, is simply the pain of a life lived out of tune with this essential inner harmony. But how do we learn to hear this music? How do we tune the instrument of our own awareness to its subtle, sacred frequency? In this great and often confusing quest, we are fortunate to have guides, master cartographers who have meticulously mapped different quadrants of the vast inner territory of the human spirit. We will draw upon the wisdom of 4 such luminaries. From the profound depths of psychology, we have Carl Jung, the great archaeologist of the soul, who gave us the language of archetypes, of the shadow, and of individuation, the sacred lifelong journey of becoming whole. From the heart of the present moment, we have Eckhart Tolle, the master of stillness, who taught us that our primary purpose is not in what we do, but in the quality of consciousness we bring to this very moment. From the bridge between ancient Vedic wisdom and modern understanding, we have Deepak Chopra, who illuminated the timeless concept of Dharma, our unique role in the intelligent cosmic dance of the universe. And from the forefront of modern practical spirituality, we have Gabrielle Bernstein, who teaches us how to clear the fear-based blocks that stop us from hearing our inner guidance, and how to follow the path of joy and alignment as the most direct route to our calling. These 4 great minds, like 4 great rivers, all flow towards the same immense ocean of truth, each offering a unique and essential perspective on the journey home to the self. This exploration, then, is an act of synthesis. We will not treat these teachings as separate philosophies, but will weave their distinct threads of wisdom into a single comprehensive and practical guide. We will use Jung's map to navigate the deep psyche, Tolle's wisdom to find our anchor in the now, Chopra's concept of Dharma to understand our unique gifts, and Bernstein's methods to clear the path ahead. This is your invitation to embark on the most important journey of your life. It is a journey inward, an expedition into the quiet landscape of your own heart, to still the noise of the world, and to finally, with reverence and with joy, hear the magnificent, unheard symphony of you. If this exploration resonated with the part of you that knows there is more to reality than what we see, then our journey together has only just begun. Each week we delve into the profound mysteries of consciousness, from ancient wisdom to modern science, to help unlock the secrets of your own magnificent being. Subscribe and activate the bell to join a community of fellow navigators and seekers. Let's continue to explore the unseen together. To find your way back to the unheard symphony of your soul, my dear friend, it helps to have a map, or rather a set of lenses, each one designed to bring a different essential aspect of your inner landscape into focus. Our 4 guides, Jung, Tolle, Chopra, and Bernstein, each offer such a lens. They do not contradict one another. They offer 4 distinct and harmonious perspectives on the same ultimate truth. To find your purpose is to learn to look through all 4 of these precious lenses, to see your life with the depth of the psychologist, the stillness of the sage, the cosmic perspective of the rishi, and the practical faith of the modern mystic. Let us begin by looking through the first, and perhaps most challenging of these lenses, the Jungian lens, the path of individuation. The great Swiss psychologist Carl Jung offered a vision of the soul's purpose that was not a single goal to be achieved, but a lifelong courageous journey. He called this journey individuation. It is the sacred and often difficult process of becoming a whole, complete, and undivided individual by integrating the vast hidden world of your unconscious with your conscious ego. Your purpose from this perspective is to become fully, authentically, and completely yourself. To understand this, beloved, let us use the allegory that Jung himself so treasured, the great work of the alchemist. Imagine yourself as an alchemist, standing in the quiet, mysterious laboratory of your own psyche. You are tasked with a single monumental goal: to create the philosopher's stone, a symbol of wholeness, integration, and divine consciousness. The world tells you to work only with the finest materials, with the pure gold of your virtues, your talents, your light. But the alchemical secret is that the great work cannot be accomplished this way. The key to the gold is hidden in the lead. The alchemist must have the courage to work with the prima materia, the raw, chaotic, and often despised material of their own being. This, my dear alchemist, is your shadow. It is every part of yourself that you have judged as unworthy, as dark, as unacceptable, and have cast into the darkness of your unconscious. It is your anger, your envy, your fear, your secret shame. The first step in your sacred work is not to destroy this shadow, but to gather it, to face it, to heat it in the crucible of your unflinching awareness, and to begin the slow, painful process of purifying it, of finding the hidden gold within its leaden form. As you work with your cherished shadow, you will encounter other mysterious figures in the laboratory of your soul. The anima or animus, the contrasexual, archetypal soul image that represents the bridge to the deepest layers of your unconscious. For a man, this is the feminine anima; for a woman, the masculine animus. To integrate this treasured inner figure is to balance your own internal energies, to unite the masculine and feminine principles within you, bringing your whole being into a state of profound harmony. The entire process of individuation is this alchemical journey, accepting your shadow, communing with your soul image, and integrating all these disparate parts until you are no longer a fragmented being at war with yourself. Your purpose is not to be a good person, but a whole person. The philosopher's stone you create is your authentic, individuated self, a precious and unique expression of the divine, forged in the fires of your own courageous self-exploration. The Tolle lens, the purpose of presence. Now, my dear friend, let us put down the complex charts of alchemy and pick up a lens of profound and startling simplicity. The great sage of our time, Eckhart Tolle, offers a perspective that acts as the very foundation for all other quests for purpose. He makes a crucial distinction between your primary and your secondary purpose. Your secondary purpose is what you do in the world, your job, your role as a parent, your creative projects. The anxious search for this outer purpose, Tolle teaches, is the source of immense suffering. This is because we have forgotten our primary purpose. Your primary purpose, beloved, is not in the future. It is right here, right now, and it is always the same: to be present. It is to bring a state of still, alert, conscious awareness to this very moment. To understand this, let us tell the story of a master archer. A group of eager students comes to him, seeking to learn his secret for hitting the bullseye every time. They are obsessed with the target, the arrow, the technique, the secondary purpose. But the master, to their great frustration, does not speak of these things. For months he teaches them only one thing: the art of the sacred pause. He teaches them to stand, to hold the bow and arrow, and to simply breathe. He teaches them to feel the earth beneath their feet, to feel the air on their skin, to become utterly still and present, one with the bow, the arrow, and the air itself. He teaches them to find the silent, aware space that exists beneath their chattering, ambitious minds. Most of the students grow impatient and leave, but one adored student persists. One day, after months of this practice, the master tells her, "Now shoot." In that state of profound, silent presence, she draws the bow, and without aiming, without effort, without thought, she releases. The arrow flies with impossible grace, and lands perfectly in the center of the bullseye. The great secret is this: the perfect action, the fulfillment of your secondary purpose, arises effortlessly and powerfully from the state of primary purpose, which is presence. Your true purpose, dear one, is not a destination you must strive to reach. It is the place from which you must begin. The anxiety of finding my purpose is a trick of the ego, a story that keeps you perpetually focused on the future, preventing you from discovering the immense power that is only ever available in the now. When you bring your full, non-judgmental awareness to this moment, to the simple act of breathing, to the feeling of life in your hands, the noise of the ego subsides. In that inner stillness, the unheard symphony of your soul can finally be heard. Your secondary purpose, your true calling in the world of form, will then reveal itself to you, not as a problem to be solved, but as a path that unfolds, step by peaceful step, from the sacred ground of your own present awareness. The Chopra lens, the law of Dharma. Having found our grounding in the present moment, we now pick up the third lens, that of Deepak Chopra, to gaze outwards at our unique and cherished place within the cosmic dance. Chopra translates the ancient Vedic wisdom of Dharma into a beautiful and practical formula for discovering and living your soul's purpose. The law of Dharma states that every being in the universe has a unique talent and a unique way of expressing it, and that when this unique talent is used in service to humanity, we experience the bliss and abundance of our own true nature. It is a vision of purpose that is at once deeply personal and profoundly interconnected. To make this clear, my beloved, let us imagine a great cosmic orchestra. The entire universe is a symphony, and every single soul is a unique and irreplaceable instrument. Now imagine a single precious flute in this orchestra. The flute looks around and sees the immense, powerful drums and notices the attention and respect they command. The flute decides that to be truly important, it must sound like a drum. And so it spends its entire life trying to produce a deep, booming sound. It strains and struggles, but all it can create is a dissonant, airy, and unhappy noise. It is out of tune with itself and with the entire orchestra. This is the story of a soul who has not found its Dharma. The journey to its purpose follows the 3 steps Chopra outlines. First, the flute must engage in self-inquiry to discover its unique talent. It must stop looking at the drums and look within. It must ask, what is my true nature? What is the sound that only I can make? In a moment of quiet reflection, it discovers its gift is not to boom, but to create a beautiful, clear, and soaring melody. This is the first step, discovering the gift you were born to share. The second step is to express this unique talent in a way that brings ecstatic joy. The flute begins to practice its own melody, not as a duty but as a passionate act of self-love. It loses all track of time as it explores the beauty of its own unique sound. The joy it feels is a sign that it is now in perfect alignment with its true nature. The third and final step is to ask, how can I use this joyful expression in service to others? The flute realizes that its beautiful, clear melody is the one thing the grand symphony was missing. Its soaring notes are the perfect counterpoint to the deep rhythm of the drums. It begins to play its song, not for applause, not for reward, but as a loving gift to the entire orchestra. In doing so, it contributes its essential part to the whole, and the entire symphony becomes richer and more beautiful. This is the law of Dharma. You, dear soul, are that unique instrument. Your purpose is not to sound like anyone else. It is to discover your own treasured song, to sing it with all your heart, and to offer its unique beauty as your gift to the world. The Bernstein lens, the path of joyful alignment. Finally, my dear seeker, let us look through the 4th lens, that of Gabrielle Bernstein, which brings these grand cosmic ideas into the immediate, practical, and heartfelt reality of your daily choices. She teaches that your ultimate purpose is to be a channel for love in the world, and that the only thing that ever blocks this purpose is fear. The journey to your calling, then, is a journey of unlearning fear and consistently choosing love. The guidance system for this journey is your own inner sense of alignment and joy. To understand this, let us use the allegory of the 2 lanterns. Imagine you are a traveler who must find your way through a dark and intimidating forest at night. This forest is your life with all its uncertainties and challenges. To guide you, you have been given two lanterns. The first is the lantern of fear. This is the lantern of the ego. It casts a wide, harsh, and frantic beam of light, and its primary function is to show you everything that could possibly go wrong. It illuminates every twisted branch that looks like a monster, every snake on the path, every hidden pitfall, every dark and menacing shadow. To walk by the light of this lantern is to be paralyzed, to see only danger, to feel that the entire forest is a threat. It is a state of constant anxious vigilance. But you have another, more ancient and precious light. This is the lantern of joy. This is the lantern of your spirit, your higher self. It does not cast a wide, frantic beam. Instead, it emits a soft, warm, and gentle golden glow that illuminates only one thing: the very next, safe, peaceful, and beautiful step on the path right in front of you. It does not show you the whole journey through the forest. It does not promise you what lies around the next bend. It only ever shows you the next, single, most loving and aligned step. To walk by the light of this lantern requires faith. It requires you to trust that if you simply take this one good-feeling step, the light will move with you and illuminate the next one when you get there. Your purpose is found not by mapping the entire scary forest, but by learning to put down the lantern of fear and to walk, step by trusting step, with the gentle guiding light of the lantern of joy. This is a practical, moment-to-moment choice. In any situation, you have a choice between a thought rooted in fear and a thought rooted in love. Your purpose is revealed by consistently choosing the thought that feels better, that feels more loving, that feels more like relief and expansion. This joyful feeling is your soul's compass, the light from your lantern, and by following it step by trusting step, you will be guided, with perfect, unerring grace, through the forest and into the sunlit clearing of your true, authentic, and purpose-driven life. To understand the four great paths to purpose is to hold a magnificent and detailed map in your hands. But a map, my dear friend, is not the journey itself. The most profound insights remain mere abstractions, beautiful but powerless, until they are embodied through conscious, dedicated practice. This, then, is where we move from seeing to being. We enter the alchemist's workshop of the soul, a sacred inner space where we will learn to use the tools provided by our four guides. This is not a work of force, but of gentle, persistent application. It is the art of transmuting the lead of an unexamined life into the pure, radiant gold of a purpose-driven existence. Let us begin with the first and most courageous of these practices. The Jungian practice, the art of the unveiled shadow. The great work of individuation, of becoming whole, begins, as all true alchemy does, with a descent into the darkness. To find your light, you must first have the courage to face your shadow. This practice, my beloved, requires a radical and sometimes uncomfortable honesty. I invite you to take a journal, your sacred logbook, and begin this work. First, bring to mind a person who consistently triggers a strong negative emotional reaction within you. It may be a public figure, a colleague, or a family member. Do not judge this feeling, simply observe it. Now list the specific traits of this person that you find most irritating, most reprehensible. Is it their arrogance, their laziness, their insecurity, their need for control? Be as specific and as honest as you can. Now take a deep breath, for here is the moment of true alchemical courage. Look at this list of despised traits and ask your soul the great transformative question: where does this trait live in me? Ask it not with the voice of a harsh judge, but with the gentle curiosity of a compassionate seeker. Where have I been arrogant in a hidden way? In what area of my life have I been lazy or avoidant? Where does my own insecurity manifest? The shadow you see is composed of the parts of ourselves we have disowned and rejected. Because they are a part of our whole, they must find expression, and so we project them onto others, despising them out there so we do not have to face them in here. This practice of shadow journaling is the act of lovingly calling these lost parts of yourself home. Each trait you reclaim from the outer world and acknowledge within yourself is a piece of lead you have placed in your crucible, a fragment of your own wholeness that you can now begin to purify and integrate into the gold of your true, complete self. Alongside this, you must learn to listen to the messages from your deepest unconscious. Place that cherished journal by your bedside. Before you sleep, hold the simple, loving intention: beloved self, tonight I am listening. The moment you wake, before the logical mind can begin its daily chatter, Write down anything you can remember, a feeling, a color, a single strange image. This is the art of honoring the dream, the traveler's journal of your soul. By creating a space to receive these messages, you are beginning the sacred dialogue between your conscious ego and your vast, wise, unconscious self. A dialogue that is absolutely essential for the journey of individuation. The Tolle practice, the art of the sacred pause. Having begun the deep work of excavating the past, we must now learn the art of anchoring ourselves in the only place where true power exists, the present moment. Eckhart Tolle teaches that your primary purpose is to be, and the most direct path to this state of being is through the sacred pause. I invite you to practice this now, my dear one. Close your eyes, take a single slow deep breath. Now bring your attention to the palms of your hands. Without thinking about them, can you feel them from the inside? Can you feel the subtle tingling, the warmth, the aliveness that is humming just beneath the skin? This is the feeling of your inner body. Let that awareness spread now, up your arms, into your shoulders, down through your torso, your legs, all the way to the soles of your feet. For just a moment, inhabit your entire body as a single field of gentle, vibrant energy. This is presence. This is your primary purpose fulfilled. This is the still, silent ground of being from which all effective action arises. To bring this sacred art into your daily life, you do not need to retreat to a cave. You need only bring this quality of attention to the mundane. Choose a simple, routine activity you perform every day, perhaps washing your hands or drinking your first cup of tea. For the duration of that single act, commit to being fully present. If you are washing your hands, feel the exact temperature of the water on your skin. Hear the sound it makes. Smell the fragrance of the soap. Feel the sensation of your hands moving together. When your mind wanders, as it will, gently guide it back to the pure sensory experience of the moment. In these small, cherished moments, you are practicing the great art of inhabiting your life. You are stepping off the frantic treadmill of the egoic mind and resting in the profound, peaceful reality of the now. It is from this still point that the whispers of your secondary purpose, your true outer calling, can finally be heard without distortion. The Chopra practice, the Dharma inquiry. Once you have learned to create inner stillness, you can begin the focused work of discovering your unique gift. Deepak Chopra provides us with a powerful Dharma inquiry, a set of 3 sacred questions to ask of your own soul. Take your journal, your treasured logbook, and in a quiet moment reflect upon these questions. First, what are my unique talents? Beloved, do not censor yourself here. This is not about what the world deems valuable or profitable. It is about what is uniquely you. Think back to your childhood. What did you love to do? What activities felt so natural that they required no effort? Are you a gifted listener? Do you have a talent for organizing, for nurturing, for creating beauty, for seeing patterns, for making others laugh? Write down every single gift you can think of, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. These are the treasured instruments you were given to play in the cosmic orchestra. Second, ask, what activities bring me into a state of blissful flow? When you are engaged in this activity, you lose all track of time. Your sense of a separate self dissolves. There is only the joyful present moment experience of the act itself. It could be gardening, coding, dancing, writing, or simply having a deep conversation. This state of flow is a profound signpost from your soul. It is signaling that when you are doing this, you are in perfect alignment with your true nature. This is the sound of you joyfully playing your unique instrument. And finally, the most important question: how can I use my unique talents in a state of joyful expression to best serve the needs of humanity? This is the question that unites your personal joy with the needs of the world. Service is not a burden. It is the soul's ultimate fulfillment. Look at your list of talents and your list of joys, and then look at the world around you with a compassionate heart. How can your gift for listening help someone who is lonely? How can your talent for organizing help bring order to a chaotic situation? How can your love of creating beauty bring a moment of peace to others? In the answer to this question, your Dharma, your true purpose, will be revealed. The Bernstein lens, the fear to love shift. You now have a clearer sense of your gifts and how you might use them. But often between knowing our path and walking it, there lies a great chasm of fear. This is where we use our 4th and final lens, a practical, alchemical practice from Bernstein for transmuting fear into love. This is a 4-step ritual for your heart, a way to consciously choose the guidance of the lantern of joy over the lantern of fear. First, when you feel a fear-based thought arising, a thought of "I'm not good enough, I might fail, what will they think?" the first step is to witness it without judgment. See the thought not as a truth, but as a frightened, contracted part of yourself. Do not fight it. Simply acknowledge its presence with a gentle, loving awareness. The second step is to forgive the thought. This is a profound act of compassion. Say to this fear silently in your heart, "I forgive this thought. I forgive myself for having this thought. I understand it is an echo of an old pain, and it is only trying to protect me." This act of forgiveness instantly robs the fear of its power and its charge. The third step is to choose again. You now have a choice. You can stay with the fear, or you can choose a different guide. This is a moment of active, conscious prayer. You say to your higher self, to the universe, to God, "Thank you for this revelation. I am ready to see this differently. Please show me a new perception. I am willing to see love instead of this." The fourth and final step is to anchor in the loving thought. Once you have asked for a new perception, gently allow a more loving, expansive, and affirming thought to enter your mind. It may be a simple affirmation like, "I am willing to trust my path," or "I choose to see this situation with love." Repeat this new thought gently, not to force it but to welcome it. This is the practical, moment-to-moment art of choosing the lantern of joy, of turning your inner dial from the station of fear to the station of love. And it is this choice, made again and again, that clears the path and allows you to walk forward, with faith, into the beautiful sunlit clearing of your soul's purpose. The maps are essential, my dear friend, and the tools are precious. But it is in the stories of those who have walked the path before us that we often find the deepest inspiration and the courage to take our own first steps. These are not tales of superheroes or chosen ones, but of ordinary people who, having heard the faint initial notes of their own unheard symphony, chose to listen. They are allegories of the soul, drawn from the quiet realities of everyday life, illustrating how the four great lenses, when used together, can illuminate the way home to a life of profound purpose. Let us first consider the story of a man we will call Leo. To the outside world, Leo was the very picture of success. He was a brilliant corporate lawyer in a prestigious firm with a sharp mind, a beautiful apartment, and an income that afforded him every comfort. Yet, in the silent hours after his long days, a profound and hollow emptiness would visit him. He had achieved everything he was supposed to want, but he felt like an actor in a play he had no memory of auditioning for. This deep ache, this quiet discontent, was his soul's first call. Fearing burnout, he began a simple practice of meditation. Seeking only a moment of peace, he learned the art of the sacred pause, of simply watching his breath, and in the stillness that began to grow, he noticed something new. The noise of his anxious, striving mind was not who he was. This was his first taste of Tolle's presence. In this newfound quiet, old memories began to surface. He remembered, with a sudden, startling clarity, the pure, unadulterated joy he felt as a child. His hands covered in mud and clay, creating strange, small sculptures in his backyard. It was a forgotten joy, a treasured part of himself he had been told to put away in favor of a more serious path. He felt a gentle, persistent pull, a whisper from his heart. Following this whisper, this lantern of joy, as Gabrielle Bernstein would call it, he signed up for a weekend pottery class. The moment his hands touched the wet, cool clay on the wheel, something inside him came alive. He lost all track of time. Hours passed like minutes. It was a state of blissful, creative flow. Here he recognized a unique, cherished talent he had long ago abandoned, the first step in Chopra's Dharma inquiry. But this new joy brought with it a profound conflict. His inner critic, his shadow as Jung would name it, rose up with immense force. It told him he was being foolish, impractical, childish. It whispered that his worth was tied to his prestigious career, that to trade a lawyer's briefcase for a potter's wheel was an act of absolute failure. Instead of running, Leo began to journal. He wrote down the harsh, judgmental words of his shadow. He wrote about his father's immense expectations, and he began a dialogue with that lost, creative child within. He acknowledged the pain of having abandoned that part of himself, and he began slowly to integrate it. He didn't quit his job. Instead, he made a sacred space for his art, and as he did, His final Dharma question was answered. He began volunteering at a local community center, teaching children from difficult backgrounds the simple, grounding, healing power of working with clay. He was no longer just a lawyer. He was a healer, a teacher, a creator, using his unique, treasured gifts in joyful service to others. He had finally begun to play his true note in the cosmic symphony. Now let us consider the story of a woman we shall call Maya, a loving mother and devoted partner. Maya had poured her entire being into creating a beautiful home for her family. Yet, she too felt the quiet ache of a lost self. Her purpose, she felt, was entirely defined by the needs of others. In a moment of exhaustion, she began a simple practice, writing down her dreams, a logbook for a journey she didn't know she was on. She noticed a recurring dream of a serene, secret garden, a place that was just for her, a sanctuary of profound peace. This was her soul, in the Jungian sense, showing her an image of what was missing, a sacred space for her own being. Inspired, she began to seek out this sanctuary in her waking life. She couldn't go on a grand retreat, but she could, as Tolle teaches, find the sacred in the now. She turned the simple act of her morning tea into a profound ritual of presence. For 5 minutes, she would simply feel the warmth of the cup, taste the flavor, and watch the steam rise. This was her secret garden. It was a small act, but it was revolutionary. It was a declaration that her own peaceful presence mattered. Guided by this newfound inner connection, she began to ask herself the Dharma questions. What was her unique gift? It was not a career skill. It was her profound innate talent for creating an atmosphere of unconditional love and peace. She realized her purpose was not some grand calling out there, but was the very thing she was already doing, if only she could do it consciously and honor it as sacred. She then faced her great fear, the belief that her work was not important or valuable compared to an external career. She used Bernstein's fear to love shift, recognizing this thought as a fear-based belief from her ego. She chose again, affirming, "My capacity to create a sanctuary of love is my sacred gift and my profound purpose." This inner shift changed everything. She began to approach her daily tasks not as chores but as acts of love, her sacred offering. She started a small blog, sharing her insights on finding peace in the midst of family life. She created a small support group. She had not changed the core of what she was doing, but by changing her consciousness about it, she had transformed her life from one of service as depletion to one of service as joyful purpose. She, my beloved, had realized that sometimes the unheard symphony is the quiet, beautiful music you were playing all along. We have walked together through the profound and varied landscapes of the inner world, guided by 4 of our time's most cherished cartographers of consciousness. From Carl Jung, my dear friend, we learned that our purpose is found in the courageous alchemical work of individuation, of integrating our sacred shadow to become courageously whole. From Eckhart Tolle, we received the key to the kingdom, the liberating truth that our primary purpose is always found in the simple, profound stillness of the present moment. From Deepak Chopra, we heard the cosmic call of Dharma, the beautiful law that aligns our own unique talents with the joyful service of humanity. And from Gabrielle Bernstein, we were given the most practical of compasses, learning to clear the blocks of fear and to follow the gentle guiding light of joyful alignment. Seen from a distance, these may seem like 4 separate paths, but as we arrive at our destination, we can see that they are not separate roads at all. They are 4 essential perspectives on a single magnificent peak. They are 4 verses of the same sacred song. Your purpose is not found by choosing one over the other, but by integrating them into a living, breathing practice. It is the practice of becoming whole and present, so that you may discover your unique gifts and share them with the world in a way that brings you and others the deepest possible joy. And it is here that we must speak to a quiet fear that may have arisen in your heart during this exploration. The fear that your purpose is not grand enough. In a world that celebrates the loud, the famous, and the monumental, it is easy to believe that a true calling must be a dramatic, world-changing mission. Beloved, let us release this heavy burden. A soul's purpose is measured not by its scale, but by the quality of love and presence that you bring to it. To raise a single, conscious, and well-loved child is a purpose as profound as ruling a nation. To create a small garden that brings a moment of beauty and peace to a corner of the world is a purpose as sacred as painting a masterpiece. To be the one person in your office who brings a spirit of kindness and integrity to their work It is a purpose as vital as leading a great movement. Do not mistake volume for value. Your purpose is simply to be the most authentic, present, and loving expression of you that you can be, in whatever circumstances you find yourself. The final transformational call of our journey then is this: stop searching for your purpose. You have been looking for it out there, as if it were a lost object, a hidden treasure, a secret destination you must find. But your purpose was never out there. It has been with you all along, an unheard symphony in the quiet of your own heart, patiently waiting for you to stop to listen. So let us release the anxious, striving question, what is my great purpose in the future? And replace it with a series of gentle, present moment inquiries. Ask yourself now, my dear one, how can I be more present right here? Ask, what are my unique, treasured gifts? And how can I express just one of them in a small way today? And ask, of the choices before me, which one feels the most like joy, the most like love, the most like relief? This is how you answer the call. You answer it not by finding a grand, definitive answer for your whole life, but by making a series of small, authentic, and love-guided choices, moment by moment. You are a unique and precious instrument in the great cosmic orchestra. The universe does not need you to be a drum if you were born a flute. It does not need you to play another song. It needs only for you to discover your own true note and to play it with all of your heart. For your specific, cherished, and authentic note is the one thing the symphony is missing. In the stillness you will hear it. With courage you will play it. And in doing so you will have fulfilled the most sacred purpose of all. The purpose of being fully, completely, and unapologetically you.